Hi, my name is Yolanda and welcome back to my channel. It is the season finale. We've made it. Congratulations, kudos, thank you so much for showing up here and listening to me scream about this show. I've hoped a couple of insights have made their way through. We are going to continue with this because Justice for Steve is coming, okay? Justice for Steve is coming. I went through all the episodes again just to see if I was wrong. If I'm wrong about my assessment about Steve, spoiler alert, I'm not. Video essay coming all about Justice for Steve. That's one. So two, we have a second show. How did we get to the second show? I thought that I was going to love The Gilded Age. As I said before, conservative coded TV that I'm not entirely aware of until I watch it a second time. I watched Downton Abbey and I was like, all about the clothes. It's the setting. Struggle. We're sympathizing with these characters even though the conflict was trash. This woman slept with a colored man and had to pay for it for the rest of her life. That was the main thing about Downton Abbey. I thought, okay, Julian Fellows wrote something else. We're going to do it. It's set in America. The Gilded Age is right after the Civil War. All of this money is old money versus new money. And the way that old money and new money start getting along is that they marry each other. The end. No conflict there. So I went over to Hulu. To compare it to one of the great period pieces, and the clothes are just as outstanding, and you have a cast, multicultural cast, and things to talk about over there. The Great. The Great is one of my favorite things ever. And I missed season 2. I didn't even know that The Great came back. But while I was watching The Great, a commercial came on. Pam and Tommy, I watched the first 3 episodes. I recorded 1 video for it. I'm going to record 2 more videos for it, and hopefully by the 4th time it comes out. So there's going to be content on this channel. Watch this space. Please like, comment, because I live for engagement, and subscribe because we are doing Pam and Tommy, the sex tape that broke the internet. The clothes are fire too, and there's a lot there, and I actually like this show. So I'm excited for it. We're gonna do a review, recap, hot takes, different things about the show there. We are going to continue with And Just Like That. I don't know if I have it in me to watch the documentaries. I haven't watched a single one of those podcasts from the writer's room. I refuse it. You know why? Because it's like all of this Monday morning quarterbacking. I've done this before with a show. We did it with Game of Thrones. No, you're not going to explain to me why what I'm seeing on screen is the way it's supposed to be. You're not going to interpret it for me. I believe that. I also don't watch other people's reviews of this because I like to make sure that my thoughts are original. But I'll be trolling. I haven't even watched the Justice for Steve video. I just keep seeing it everywhere. All of that content is upcoming. So we're going to do the rundown as best I possibly can. This episode was a mess. There is no outfit of the episode, okay? No, I'm not scanning for anything that I like here because I didn't like any of it. Everything was ill-fitting, the wrong color, badly tailored. I'm tired. I'm in my pajamas. Carrie was in her pajamas for half the episode. So that's my excuse. I'm not doing it, okay? I'm not doing it. It was all terrible. Okay, so opening scene, Carrie wins the Suffering Olympics. Again, it's not a punchline. I know it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be funny. It's not. It's depressing. There's a way to do this. The writers just don't know how. And it's awful to listen to and awkward. And I feel like the actors on set were, because you can see the eye rolls. You're like, now everybody's killed themselves. Nobody's calling into the show. Thanks, Carrie, for bringing the mood down again. So Carrie's going on a date. That Groupon comment. Dear Carrie, not everybody has FU money. That's a teacher. What if he did pay for it for Groupon? He paid for the date. Hot for teacher over there. So what if he paid for it with a Groupon? Times is hard out there. It actually would have been a good comedic comment if he owned up to it. Like, I'm a teacher, okay? I'm a New York City teacher. I don't make that kind of money, okay? Carrie. And all of that, stick a pin in the legal secretary fantasy that Carrie had. It's going to come back. And Carrie inherited that money, by the way. Class struggle could have been something we talked about. And just like that. Yes, Seema got some finally. But did we see them beyond the initial flirt? Did they go out? Did they enjoy themselves? Were there snappy back and forth? No, we just wake up with them in bed. In Sex and the City, if you go back and you watch those episodes, there was always a setup before they got to the bedroom scene. They are cheating the characters of color on this series. It is not woke. The people, the colored peoples of this And Just Like That universe, it's worse than if they weren't on screen at all. I can't even. But of course, in that phone call, of course, Seema is getting some. And they should have spent the whole entire conversation talking about that. But of course, Carrie's world, all we're doing is talking about Carrie and a kiss. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. Number one, contracting for consent. It can be sexy. You can write that in a way that it is sexy as hell. Like, it can be awkward depending on if the person is awkward or not, but it can be sexy. Consent is sexy in 2022. Like, seriously, I have had hundreds, just based on the work that I've done, hundreds of conversations surrounding sex and women, and never, not once, did someone come and tell me, oh my God, he asked me for a kiss. That was the absolute fucking worst. Never. I've heard the stories about the worst, and they all involve not asking. Oh, I'm so angry. That whole discussion about heaven and Carrie losing, like, character Bibles. Okay, so the thing about it is that TV characters, unless you are ending a series, do not change. They are static. Unless you are doing a series finale, and hopefully this doesn't come back. I think they're coming back. I don't know. From what I saw, it looks like that they're not, like, I think they're gonna toss a coin. Like, but the internet blew up with this. Everybody's talking about it. I think it does come back. TV characters stay static. They do not change. Unless you are going to wrap up a show, and hopefully they've done this here because everybody has changed up. They've thrown the character Bibles out. They've forgotten. Someone left a comment. They were like, the writers are woke, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is the same writers from the original series. They just haven't left their apartments in the 20 years that have gone by. Like, or talked to anyone or received any feedback, or, well, they're going to get the feedback from us biddies on the internet talking about it. This is a terrible show. Y'all don't know what's going on in the world. Oh, I'm so angry. But this Carrie all of a sudden being, spiritual awakening, unearned. For the season finale, we were having Big talk to us through a freaking lamp. Unearned. Them having that discussion over brunch also gets a huge... They've been friends for a very, very long time. They know each other. They should know how to talk to each other. Not to say that they're not going to get into it over different things, but we all know, like, Big is dead because we've heard it 800 times. So Carrie losing her mind over it should not be a shock to Miranda. Rabbi Jen, they mitzvah, rock. I just stuck a pin in this because Anthony's funny. He brings light to the show. He tries. He's a good uncle. But it's not the Anthony show. Everybody hates Che moment. Everybody hates Che moment. I hate Che. And it all culminated in the worst musical scene I've ever seen in my life. Why is Che always... Why are they performing? Every time, why are they performing? Take that mic away from them. Take it away. Honestly. Okay? We're drinking excessively in front of our newly sober girlfriend and abuela. No, we're getting up, we're singing, and we're letting everybody know we're going to California through song. They declare that they are a narcissist. Yes, right there. Like, you don't care about anyone's feelings but your own, Che. Like, so angry. So angry. They are annoying. They are not cute. They need not come back for a second season. They are moving out to California. Thank you. Missed opportunity by the writers. They could have left a heartbroken Miranda. They could have. They could have left a heartbroken Miranda. Not that she would roll back to Steve, because that's the best move. That is the best move, is to leave Steve where he is. Sorry, not sorry. We get a scene with Carrie and Jackie, and it didn't make any sense the first time we saw Carrie pick up the phone and call Jackie. Oh, time, space, and relationships work so funny in this universe. Okay, they're friends now, and Jackie doesn't seem to be able to exist on Earth. Actually, Jackie is a man. There's a whole host of women supporting that messery. I just know it. We don't know how to invite people to a party. Miranda and Dr. Naya. Miranda's throwing it all away. She's in a rom-com. What happened to her going to Cleveland and surprising Che, and what happened to that scene? What happened to that scene? Miranda and all of this exposition about what happened without it happening on screen between Dr. Naya and her boo. Get out. So we get this whole monologue about how they're going to live apart, so they're separated. How do we feel about this? Is this healthy for a marriage? We did not have the discussion about having kids, not having kids, trying IVF a third time. So many questions left up in the air, and the writers did us dirty again because none of it makes any sense. Miranda, the internship, the correspondence, she's up and she's leaving her life. We get it, but we never saw her do all of these things, jump through the hoops to get there. We're just told. Show, don't tell, first rule of writing. I don't know. We didn't see any of this. So this conversation, I almost fell asleep. I'm just tired. Oh, and surprise, we are at Jackie's surprise wedding. We just met this girlfriend a minute ago. Stop it. Oh, everybody looked like they stepped out of a clown car. I can't even, that yellow, yes, you can have a yellow wedding dress, but not that. That was ugly. So the lamp again, and Carrie's not funny. The lamp has become big, and this is so you because it turns on again. And the magic, there's magic and just like that. And just like that, this is about magical realism. Get out! Where's Anthony when you need him? He should have showed up in every scene and just screamed, "Get out!" over and over and over again, because none of this makes any sense. Carrie has this epiphany. Surprise, we're going to Paris to spread... Oh, I skipped the thing with the brother because, again, didn't make sense why this scene was happening or where it was Big's final resting place. Boring, pacing, keep it moving. But no, we're sitting there, we're having a senior moment again, and of course Carrie has to remind everybody and their mama that Big is dead again. So fast forward to what are we going to do with Big's ashes? We're going to Paris, mirroring what happened in Sex and the City. Get out. Get out. For the season finale, we always did a wedding or some party or this. This is the they mitzvah. We are at the they mitzvah. Unearned. Unearned drama. Carrie, you're a hot mess of a human being. How did you make it to 55 doing things the way that you do things? Again, characters acting out of turn. Carrie coming up with this ridiculous idea that the three of them are going to Paris to spread Big's ashes. It's a very Carrie thing to do in character. I'm okay with it. That big blow up in the bathroom doesn't make any sense. If Miranda was going to go, she says, I'm going, blah, 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 but I also have to be in LA, blah, blah, blah. This mirrors a scene from the original Sex and the City where Carrie just up and went to Paris with Mikhail Baryshnikov, whatever his name was. And Miranda was the voice of reason because Miranda would be the voice of reason, asking a ton of questions about what she was going to do, where she was going to live, who was going to pay for all of it. I'm that pragmatic friend. As I said before, closely aligned with Miranda. Not exactly Miranda, not making all of these weird ass choices. But I do feel for her and, you know, all of the struggles that surround being a Miranda type in the world. That being said, so this is, I think what they said was, is what we're going to do is we are going to flip the script. Except it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If Miranda's going to get up and do this thing, then she gets up and does the thing. The exposition for it does not happen in that bathroom. But rolling along, suspending disbelief, it takes a lot. I'm irrational. Like, I'm a rational person, and it takes a lot to get there. Okay, we're here. They're having all of this argument back and forth, so forth and so on, about going to Paris, not going to Paris, whatever, so forth and so on. And Rabbi Jen, who looks lovely, by the way, but eavesdrops and has something to say. Get out! That doesn't make any sense. Rabbi Jen doesn't know these people. Rabbi Jen would have done their business and left the ladies' room. Everything seems out of time. Everything seems out of place. Nothing makes sense. And I am too much of a black mama. I identify strongly as a black mama. I am too much of a black mama to even entertain that nonsense with Rock. Like, I cannot understand why anybody was acting the way that they were. If Rock wasn't going to stand up that day, they needed to communicate that months ago. Stop it. No. Not to have known what was up. And she was cued a week before. They should have canceled that whole thing. Everything is about appearances and not actually what's going on within that family dynamic. Hashtag justice for Harry. I don't know where to place this character. Either he's fun-loving, cool dad on a skateboard, or he's this cranky old Jewish man who's stuck in tradition and wants to whatever, but he has to engage with his family. Like, has to. The only male that has survived all of this time between Sex and the City and Just Like That had charisma, had comedic timing, was a funny character, and now is an old fuddy that, like, just Steve was always Steve. Steve never changed. Everybody thinks that Steve changed from one series to the next. He did not. Harry is the one who got short shrift in the character arc here. I'm angry. Carrie decides if Miranda's not coming, then Charlotte doesn't get to go to Paris either. That was rude. And Charlotte's like, okay. Whatever. So everything has been resolved, except for, what was LTW wearing? They did that woman. Does Sarah Jessica Parker hate Ari Nicole Parker? Who on set really hated Ari Nicole Parker for them to dress her the way that they have? Consistently wearing clothes that do not fit her, looking lost in them, and that turban looking like a carnival fortune teller. I'm mad. I'm going to count this as a microaggression. Someone on that set hated Ari Nicole Parker. Hated her. Hated LTW. And consciously made that woman look bad. We see Carrie in Paris. Okay, so Miranda goes back to red. I guess that resolves some things. It's a red wig. Equally as horrid as the gray one. Well, actually, I think there are two gray wigs. Dressed like she escaped Pan Am. An extra from the Hunger Games at the Capitol party. And still badly dressed. I cannot. It was awful. In Paris, she has big in an Eiffel Tower purse. I throw the whole show away. Like, everything needs to go into the sun. Like, throw all of that into the river. I cannot. And so then we are back. And I have a note on this. Carrie got offered a job in exchange for sex. The end. That's what that closing scene was. Listen, time works funny. Characters work funny. We saw this man in 2, maybe 3 episodes, silent, stalking Carrie this whole time, offers her a job in exchange for sex. That is what happened off screen, and that's exactly what's going on here. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. But Carrie did make that comment. Follow me here, okay? Okay? There is a timeline. And since things don't work on this timeline at all, thank you to the subscriber who pointed out that these kids shouldn't be kids. Lily should be 17, almost 18 years old. Brady is 19 or 20 or 21, depending on how you roll back the tape. Rock should be 15 or 16 years old. Thank you so much for pointing that out. So since time works, super funny here, because we watched 3-4 seasons go by in that montage for Carrie, whatever, and then, you know, like all of that time for the surgery plus 3 months, and we're saying she had surgery. All, like, time is just weird here. Time is weird here, and because time is weird here, the last we see that elevator kiss, nobody asked for anything, it's her boss. It's 2022, it is her boss, and it's a workplace romance, I guess. With the sound down, or if you loop the scenes with the boss in it, Carrie got her job in exchange for sex. That's my hot take. That wasn't their first kiss. That is my hot take. Like, as I said before, open to interpretation. It's a little bit of a stretch. But is it? Because going back when I said stick a pin in that legal secretary suing her boss for sexual harassment. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That was the most exciting part of this show came out of my imagination. But we're done. We are done with And Just Like That season 1. I think there's going to be a season 2. Hopefully everybody gets better. But things that I'm going to do. A note to Michael Patrick King. Give it up. Okay? Give it up. You do not know how to write women. It's terrible. And the 2 women who sat in that room with him, and all of the actresses, and some of the actors could have been like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Like, it was so horrible. All of the episodes that this man was in charge of, stop it. Stop it. Just because you see people of color does not mean it's a woke show. It is not. Okay, this man ruined us. I'm going to go revisit some of my favorite things. So it's going to be And Just Like That versus Sex and the City here. We are doing Pam and Tommy. I'm here for it. I watched the first 3 episodes. So very excited. So if you could kindly like, comment, subscribe so I can keep doing this because it is so much fun. I live for engagements. I answer my comments. I'm there for it. Keep it clean. Be civil. But you don't have to agree with me. Fight me in the comments on anything that I have said here. And just like that. Bye.